What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at Spider-Man Unlimited. So let's see what we've got going on. Let's check it out.
Hey, thank you, Encountered Culture.
No problem, Shart. As promised, today we'll be taking a look at Spider-Man Unlimited. Let's see what we've got going on. Continuing down the retro card line here, we've got Spider-Man Unlimited, right? A series that followed Spider-Man, the animated series. So maybe the card back is a little confusing for this option, but as I've said before, I like this card back and I'm opening it anyway, so that's neither here nor there. But there's your figure. You've got some extra hands in there. There's your image of Spider-Man Unlimited nanotech suit. Flip it to the back. There's your image again. There's your little diagram. That's the wave. Important information at the bottom. There's your blurb. Peter Parker suits up to battle against Carnage and other unearthly enemies as Spider-Man Unlimited. Let's get him out of the box. Fresh out of the package, it's a cool figure, cool design. I don't have as much attachment to Spider-Man Unlimited as I do Spider-Man the Animated Series. So, for what I'm looking for, I think this hits the nostalgia bubble. If that was like your favorite show of all time, I'm sure there's a lot that you could nitpick for this figure. And that's fair. That would be very fair criticism. Because nostalgia really drives a lot of this collecting, and you want what's best on your shelf, right? So the figure itself, though, I think from the aesthetic standpoint, from the animated series, that looks pretty on par to what it should be. Maybe you want to see a different web cape there. That plastic looks a little iffy, but we'll get closer on that and see how it goes. I do like the molded design on there, though. Just like with Kane, that does add like a little bit extra. So let's take a closer look. Moving in closer, we can get a good look at the head sculpt and body here. So you can see that spider design and some of those lines all molded onto the body itself. So that I like that. I mean, I'm a fan of that. It adds depth to the character, to the figure. It just elevates it a little bit. And in the days when we're getting less and less with these figures, it is good to see that kind of stuff going on. So glad it's not painted on there and molded instead. This is actually a pretty good plastic here, still pliable but not super flimsy. So I don't mind that at all. The wrist gauntlets, they are a separate piece, so you can move those around. They are a little bit flimsier in the plastic, so mine came warped out of the box. That may be what happens to you, may not be. You might get perfect ones, but you can move that around. You'll be able to fix that. It's just a little bit annoying out of the box. As far as articulation, the head will look down there, chin touching the chest. Head looks up and back to there. You get good range backward. I like that. You get a little bit of rock in there and plenty of movement around. Arms do rotate all the way around, and you are on that butterfly in the shoulder there. Upper bicep cut, double jointed, pinless at the elbow. Nothing at your forearm, and then your hinge at the wrist. Basic ab crunch, hip swivel, as I spoke of with Kane. Really like to see that phased out over the next couple of years and get better torso for these Legends figures. Leg kicks out to there. Upper thigh cut. Double jointed pinless at the knee. Boot cut. And then your hinge and swivel at the ankle. Overall, the plastic is a little bit more gummy on this figure compared to the rest in the wave. I mean, you could see as I was bending the knee there, you get the split at the upper thigh and at the calf. So you definitely want to heat this one up a little bit. I would like to see better plastic used. The rest of the wave has been fantastic, so a little disappointing to have that on this figure. For your hands, you do get a set of fists, a set of wall crawlers, and a set of thwips. Now, one thing I noticed throughout most of my hands, they are already kind of chewed up. So I noticed that specifically on the thwips and the fists, a lot of chewing, just flaking plastic already on these hands fresh out of the packaging, like chips from the mold in the plastic and stuff. So that's just another thing to point out. And that may vary figure to figure. Just because it's on mine doesn't mean it will be the same on yours. As I said, the wrist gauntlets are a separate piece. So as you remove your hands, you can just pull that off and replace it or leave it off if you like. For comparison, here he is backed up against our 3-pack Daredevil based on the Renew Your Vows mold. So he's about the same height as this Daredevil. He'll be about average height in your Legends display, just to give you a point of reference there. And here he is backed up against our Secret Wars Captain America. Captain America coming in just a little bit taller. And finally, here he is backed up against our highly articulated Black Widow. Obviously coming in a little bit taller than your average female Marvel Legends figure. So that just gives you some idea of where this figure will fall in height-wise in your display. Alright folks, well there you have it. There is your Marvel Legends Spider-Man Unlimited figure coming out in the most recent Spider-Man Retro Wave. It's an okay figure for me. If you have a lot of nostalgia for this series, then you're probably going to enjoy this. Or you're going to hate it because it doesn't hit the marks that you're looking for. But I do think it will make some fans happy to have this version of Spider-Man on their shelf. For me, it's really about building out my Spider-Verse shelf and getting, as many variants of Spider-Man as I can on that shelf. So I like it. I like that I'm adding this. Certainly want to go back and rewatch some of that Spider-Man Unlimited and kind of get that nostalgia feel growing again and get a little bit more appreciation for something that I'm already happy to have, right? So at the end of the day, it's good enough for what it is. Of course, you don't want things to just be good enough. You want it to be great. What can make this great? For me, the plastic was a little bit flimsy. I would like to see better plastic on this. As I said, the rest of the wave has been great. So this is really the only one that I've had any sort of negative comments about, right? So all in all, it's been a really good wave and one that I was really excited to find. So Spider-Boy next. I got to track him down. Hopefully I'll be able to do that in the next couple of days and get that video out there for you guys. But either way, that's the 2 cents, folks. I appreciate you listening to me ramble on about this figure. As I always say, do what you want with that information. It's your collection. Collect how you want to collect. As long as you're happy and you like the figure, at the end of the day, that's all it's about. Again, folks, you can always find me on any of these socials down here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.